Does your child seem to temporarily become deaf when you ask them to do something? As parents, we've all been there, repeating requests to our children, wondering if our words are just bouncing off of the walls. This can be especially challenging with younger children or those who have attentional difficulties. But what if I told you there's a psychology-based strategy that could transform these moments from frustrating to fulfilling? Hi, amazing parent. It's Dr. Lindsay here with Parenting with Psychology. I'm a psychologist and mom of 4, and today we're going to talk about 3 words that will help your child do what you ask. Welcome to the world of acknowledge and respond, a simple yet revolutionary approach to communication with your children. My favorite way to confirm understanding with young children is to ask them to acknowledge and respond to your request. Instead of simply making a request and then walking away, parents using this strategy ask their child to acknowledge the request and verbally respond that they're planning to follow through on it. I might say, Laura, please put your Legos back in the bin when you're all done playing with them. If Laura doesn't respond or says something vague like, okay, I would follow up with Laura and wait for her to make eye contact, or I would say, please look in my eyes, to continue the conversation with more focus. Then I would say, I'd like you to put your Legos back in the bin when you're done playing. Please acknowledge and respond. At that point, Laura might say, okay, or yeah, I will. And I would say, thank you for acknowledging my request. Please respond by telling me what you'll do in response to my request. If she's confused or new to this technique and needs further clarification, I would provide more guidance by saying, please repeat back to me. I will put the Legos back in the bin when I'm all done playing. If she asks why that step is necessary, I would say to be sure that you heard me and understand what I'm asking. Throughout this conversation, I would be speaking in a calm, clear, and caring manner to help maintain a teaching tone rather than a nagging tone in the conversation. The acknowledge and respond technique is a simple yet powerful tool that can help parents to navigate the often tricky waters of getting their child to complete various requests that reach beyond cleaning up their toys. You can use this strategy nearly any time to make a request of your child to markedly increase their likelihood of following through on that request. Rather than asking your child if they understand and having them simply respond yes, ask them to elaborate by acknowledging what you have said and providing a verbal response. For example, if you're walking on the sidewalk along a busy street with your child and they would like to walk independently without holding your hand, you might say, that's all right with me as long as you stay within arm's reach. Please acknowledge and respond. Then they would say, yes, I know that I need to stay within arm's reach or we have to hold hands again. This technique serves 3 critical purposes. First, it ensures your child heard and understood you. It's a verbal handshake and assurance that your message was received. Sometimes kids respond, yeah, but they're really too engrossed in a project to register what you've said. Number 2, it primes your child for action. By verbalizing their commitment, your child is more likely to follow through. You're setting them up for success by arming them for completing that behavior. Number 3, it reduces frustration. It clears the air of the "I didn't hear you" excuse, making interactions smoother. At its core, acknowledge and respond is about creating a 2-way street for communication between you and your child. Instead of the traditional one-sided request like, please put your jacket away, and saying, I asked you to do that earlier, didn't you hear me? This strategy involves asking your child to acknowledge that they heard you and verbally commit to following through at the time of the request. For example, after your request, you might say, please tell me what you're going to do, and wait for them to respond. I'm going to put my jacket away. Next, we're going to be covering why the acknowledge and respond strategy works, and then I'll share more tips about how to put this valuable tool to use in your parenting practice. And the strategy you must be sure to pair it with for maximum efficacy. So stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, be sure to like and subscribe this video and then comment down below on what other questions you have regarding communication with your child. Let me know in the comments and maybe I'll answer your question in the next video. Okay. Now, why it works, the psychology behind the strategy. Children, especially those with attentional challenges, thrive on clear and engaging communication. When they're asked to repeat back or acknowledge a request, it does more than ensure that they've heard. It actively involves them in the process, making them more invested in the outcome. This method also taps into the power of verbal commitment, which psychology tells us can significantly increase the likelihood of an action being committed. By having your child verbally commit to the request, you're priming them for successfully completing the task. Next, let's talk more about how to implement the acknowledge and respond strategy in daily life. To put this strategy into practice, parents can use it in a variety of daily interactions with their children. So here are a few ways that you can incorporate this strategy into your daily interactions. With morning routines, ask your child to verbally outline their steps for getting ready after you've discussed it. What are you going to do after breakfast? For chores, instead of saying time to clean up, ask, what's your plan for cleaning up your toys? Homework sessions, after setting up homework tasks, ask, can you explain what your task is? In each scenario, you're not only ensuring your child knows what's expected, but also giving them the autonomy to express it in their own words, boosting their self-confidence and sense of responsibility. Now here's that very important point I mentioned that you've got to hear to effectively use this strategy. Be sure to couple this strategy with positive reinforcement. First, offer an enthusiastic, that's right, good listening after they acknowledge and respond to your request. Second, when the requested task is complete, praise them again for following through on your request. The combined strength of these two strategies is substantial. Now, let's go beyond the basics for children with major attentional issues. For children facing more significant challenges with attention, this strategy might need a slight adjustment. First, be conscientious of the length and complexity of your requests. Use very clear and short statements for the instruction. Second, break larger tasks down into smaller parts and have your child check in with you after each step. Third, it can be beneficial to stay and observe until the task is complete, providing gentle reminders as necessary. This ensures the task doesn't get forgotten in the transition from acknowledgement to action. Now let's talk about the bigger picture, stress reduction and improved family dynamics. By implementing the acknowledge and respond strategy, parents can decrease stress and frustration in their interactions with their children. This approach promotes clear communication, accountability, and responsibility, leading to a more harmonious family dynamic. It also helps children develop important skills such as listening, following directions, and completing tasks, setting them up for success in the future. Once they get the hang of this new strategy, your conversations with your child that involve a request will begin to flow much more smoothly, and your kids will learn to take responsibility for their actions. If my kids ever don't respond to a request that I make or just say yes, I simply prompt them with, please acknowledge and respond, and they know exactly what to do. They know I need to hear them rephrase what I've asked them to do. By integrating acknowledge and respond into your parenting toolkit, you're likely to see a decrease in daily stress levels for both you and your child. Embracing the acknowledge and respond strategy is more than just a way to get your child to put their jacket away. It's about building a foundation of mutual respect and understanding. This strategy fosters a cooperative environment, reducing the number of repeated requests and misunderstandings. Over time, this can significantly improve family dynamics, making for a more harmonious family life. Give it a try this week and see the positive impact it has on your family. Now, if you're looking for psychology-based parenting strategies to improve communication and behavior in your family, be sure to download my free resource, 5 must-have tips for better behavior today. This guide is packed with actionable tips to support you on your parenting journey, helping you to bring out the very best behavior in your child. Now, another communication issue that parents often run into is what to do when your child outright refuses to do what you ask of them. If that's ever happened to you, click on the link on screen to check out my next video and keep up the good work on your amazing parenting journey.